Okay, Stephanie by Lindsay Buckingham. Here's my arrangement. The tuning is C, G, C, G, B, D. That's how you tune the open strings, and if you want to play along with the record, you'd put a capo at the 7th fret. Pretty much need a cutaway guitar to play it that high, so I'm doing it at the 5th fret for this tutorial. I've only got a 12th fret guitar, so anyway, here's you can tune to me if you like. One thing you could check is play this note at the 13th fret on the B string with your pinky. It's a reoccurring chord in the song, and you just want to make sure that rings nice and in tune. Okay, the chord's based around an A minor shape, and like that. And here we go. What I'm doing there is just sliding the 1st and 3rd fingers out of that shape, up a whole step. So when I do that, I also want to let go of the note holding down the D string. You don't want to hear that note. Next part we've got, so I've got a 6th fret B string, 7th fret E string with the 1st and 3rd fingers. Take my word on this fingering here. It just works better. Right. So here, you're repeating that same move. Then you put the A minor shape down again. So I'm playing a lot of these dyads, 2-note chords here, with the 1st and 2nd fingers. Right? Happens pretty fast. Sometimes if my nails aren't right, I might play with the 2nd and 3rd fingers on my right hand. Here's the real tricky part of the song. I'm barring the 9th fret, bottom 3 strings. The tricky part is I'm able to clear that open G string, so I have this chord here. Not a lot of people can do that to their index finger. It takes a bit of work, but that's what's happening there. No other good way to finger that as far as I know. The riff here is using the 3rd and 4th fingers to play 11th fret D string, 12th fret of the A string. 2 notes there, you can see that. And then you take those 2 fingers off and you're back to the notes on the A and D strings under the bar. And I'll probably play that bass note twice. So let's see if we can get to that point. right, here we go. Next part. I've got the 7th fret A string with my 2nd finger. Here's my bass. Alternating that note with the open G string. And this same kind of high shape here on the top 2 strings. And that's back to that piece of the A minor with without the note on the D string, just the same fingering left. Ends on a new bass note on the D string. And the second time you play this, it's staccato or short. You want to try to shorten that sound by either putting your fingers back on the strings to deaden, or you can also release your grip on this to stop the sound. Same 2 notes here. My bass notes have changed to open E and D strings alternating. So these shapes are at the 10th fret with the 2nd and 3rd fingers, and that's the G string and high E string. So you're skipping the B string there, and also I'm muffling the B string with this finger resting on top of it. So if I accidentally hit it, it will just be a thud. The same shapes. Move it up to the 12th fret, slide it up to the 14th fret. And I'm fingering that on my right hand with the index and 3rd. Normally I play adjacent strings with adjacent fingers, so typically I would play the B and E strings with the 2nd and 3rd, and the G and B with the 1st and 2nd fingers. Sometimes I'll change that up depending on my nail condition, but so when I'm playing these notes that skip a string, I'm doing 1st and 3rd. Get that out of the way so you can see it. 1st and 3rd fingers. And again, those short notes. Oh, I'm doing something new I just discovered. Playing those strings open for a very brief period of time. So I'm hitting that bass note. Okay, here's the money shot of this song, the Raschiato. So you're going to play these same notes but with different fingerings now. So I got my index and 2nd fingers, G string, high E string, muffling the B string. And then I'm going to hammer on to the 14th fret with the 3rd and 4th fingers, same 2 strings. And that's going to slide to the 10th fret. Pretty darn awkward. but possible. And then you end on this chord I showed you in the beginning with that pinky holding the 13th fret of the B string and those other strings open. Let's see if we can make it. Almost. So, arrasquiado. This is a flamenco technique that I have made work for this song. So I'm going pinky, third, second, first. You want to practice that? I think when I'm doing that, I have my thumb resting on the D string and muting the A and D or E string as well. So if I happen to hit those strings, which I probably would, they wouldn't make oddball notes. Yeah, I think I probably usually play that with my thumb. Tricky business. Trying to keep all those notes clean. I get it. Maybe half the time I get it right. A third the time. I don't know. Cool. The second time this runs around, the part I just showed you, it does that. And then it does this. Same fingering, but starting at the 7th fret, index and second finger on the G and high E strings, hammering on to the 9th fret in this case, and then the open strings on the G and D strings and E strings. Here's another chord with one finger, 7th fret D string, and the rest open. Let's see. Yeah, getting the timing of these down. If you play it fast enough, people will be so mesmerized they won't notice if you miss a couple of those, I think. For the record, I have nailed that at least once in my life. I'll play this much. New part. The second time around, it goes. Instead of that, you're going to add this note at the 10th fret with your pinky. Big old stretch here. This is where I find you really make progress on this instrument by working on these odd shapes really slowly over and over and over, and all of a sudden your hands will be able to do new things they could never do before. It just takes a lot of patience and repetitive practice. How you get out of that. So like the beginning. And that note is the 10th fret of the high E string. So you end up with some awkward shapes, but again, trust me on my fingering. You know, it seems awkward to finger that with the first and third, but it enables the transition from this chord, because you need that note that looks in the A minor chord. And you want to hold on to that. Okay. That's the A section. B section, quite a bit easier. But let me just go over the shapes here. I gotta remember myself. There it is. So a little awkward. I got my index finger on the 6th fret of the B string and my 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the D string. Everything else is open and needs to be able to ring. So make sure your 3rd finger is not rolling over the open G string. It's got to be right on the tip so you can clear that note. You slide the whole thing up a whole step or 2 frets. The 3rd shape, which is the 10th fret B string, 12th fret of the D string. So the shape is closed up a little bit. I would practice that. Relatively easy. Let's see if I can dissect that pattern. So I'm basically alternating the low E and low A strings. And then playing the open high string. So in that open G string is ringing the whole time. Same kind of lines as before. Just repeating that. Here we go on the 10th fret. Yeah, top 3 strings. I'm fingering it 3rd finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger, pinky there. And just playing the top 2. And then the next set of strings. And to the open top 2 strings. I used to try to do this, I think. Where I'm playing that note there and the open string. But end on those open high strings here. Either way. Same notes, it just rings a little different. Let's see from this angle. So this note, 2nd finger G string, is staying down the whole time. Yeah, like that. I'll play the B section. Back to the A section. So one of the things I do a lot when I perform the song is I roll a lot of these chords. This was done with at least 2 guitars, maybe 3 or 4, the original recording, and there's a lot of racket going on, a lot of noise, and to do that with 1 guitar, I find that if I roll a lot of these notes, instead of playing them together, I might go. You hear that little difference here, slower? So one after the other, as opposed to, let me show you here. Okay, that was played pretty straight, and I'll try to roll it now. Almost all of that stuff, and at tempo, let's see what I do. Now I'm thinking too much, but I do roll quite a bit of those, and it makes it sound more like 2 guitars. It makes it sound a lot bigger. When I do this section, the B section, definitely always rolling those first, second, third fingers. I think the only other new section comes in, I gotta remember where it is. There we go. That's before it goes into the B section the second time. That's just a sus chord, which in standard tuning would be easy to play, but unfortunately, it's a big chord here. So it's we've had this before here. Pinky on the 10th fret of the E string, index on the 6th fret of the B string, and second finger on the 7th fret of the G string. So I'm doing the Raschiato again, keeping that pinky down and letting go of the other 2 notes. Keep that pinky down, so you're moving these down a whole step. Don't slide them, but quietly move them over. Back to the B section. that's the song. Have fun with that. Write me on YouTube if you have any questions. One day, maybe one of you will tab this out, or maybe I will. I don't know. A lot of work. Hope you got through that, and I hope I didn't bumble too much, but there it is. Enjoy.